name is Michael, and I'd like to share with you a moment that changed my life forever. I was driving home from school one day, and my sister gave me a call. When I picked it up, I knew immediately that something was wrong. Her voice was shaky, and she sounded very scared and nervous. When she told me what happened, when she told me what happened, I realized that my brother had just got hit by a car when he was riding on his bike. I immediately asked how the situation was and if he was okay or not, and what she knew about it. She said she didn't know much at the time because my dad had just told her, and I was still on my way home from school. So I hung up the phone and I started rushing home. I knew I had to call my mom because she was at work at the time and she had not known what happened yet. I called her and I told her the situation. Obviously, as a mom, that is something you don't want to hear and it's very scary. So I told her to stay calm and that everything would be okay. After that, I rushed home as quick as possible, and I got there just in time to see that he was being airlifted in a helicopter to Tampa General Hospital. I got there just in time to see that lift off and leave, and after that, me, my sister, and my dad were all home, so we drove to the hospital, which took about an hour to 2 hours. When we got to the hospital, me and my sister were the first ones to enter. We had to get guest stickers so that we were able to enter the room and see our brother. After that process, we were able to enter the room and we saw him. He was hooked up to a bunch of cords and he had undergone a bunch of tests and surgeries before we had gotten there. So we knew that he had gone through a lot while he was there by himself. And that must be very scary for something like that to happen and not have your family with you. A moment like that is obviously very scary and there's a lot to learn from it. There's only so many things that you could take out positively from those situations, so it's important to learn that no matter how hard a situation like that is or becomes, you have to learn from it and take the positives out of it. One of the big positives he learned from that was that he'll always have his family, no matter how hard a situation is or how hard he is going through something. The bone was 3 inches long that was missing from his leg, and it was in the car after impact. So they had to take that to the hospital and decide if they were able to still use that or not, if it was clean enough and intact enough to replace it, or if they needed to put a filler in his leg instead because the bone wasn't able to be used. They ended up having to use a filler, and he had to undergo multiple different surgeries to clean the bone, get the filler, and then re-stitch up the leg. The conclusion from this story is to learn that no matter how hard a situation is and no matter how negative or bad it sounds, try to always take the good from it and learn from the mistakes you make.